Flash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, going over all of the biggest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Starting off the show, we wanted to offer one more reminder pertaining to tonight's football matchup between the West Bloomfield Lakers and Lake Orion. The first away game for the Lakers this season after an exciting 3-0 start at home. Civic Center TV will not be broadcasting tonight's game as Lake Orion has a special exclusive broadcast on the NFHS network. You can find all the information on where to watch tonight's game by heading over to civiccentertv.com/LakerSports to find all the information you need. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock, and we will see if West Bloomfield can keep up their momentum or if Lake Orion can knock them off their throne. Once again, civiccentertv.com/LakerSports for all of your West Bloomfield football news. On Saturday, October 18th, the West Bloomfield Educational Foundation is putting together a family mini photo session to help capture precious family memories and to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Bloomer Park, with 100% of the proceeds from this event benefiting the foundation and local educational programs. Joining us now on the Splash Live to tell us more is Alicia Kowalski, one of the photographers for this event. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course, this is such a great event, especially in the heart of fall. You've got the beautiful colors around you, a great landscape for great family photos. How did you get involved with the West Bloomfield Educational Foundation's family mini photo session?
So I have a family friend who's on the board of directors for the Educational Foundation, and she reached out to me and told me about this new opportunity of fundraising for the community and asked me if I wanted to participate.
Awesome. And why is supporting local education important to you personally and professionally?
So personally, I actually have 3 children, one of which just graduated from West Bloomfield High School, and 2 more coming up through the elementary schools. So very close to my heart in terms of local education and what a strong school system does to support the community. As a photographer, I love that education supports the creativity and storytelling aspect of things, and having creative arts as a part of the educational system, I think, is so important. So I love that I get to participate into with the foundation and express my creative outlet.
That's absolutely right, and it's great that you are giving back to the West Bloomfield community in this way. So once again, this event is taking place on October 18th. What can families expect from their session with you on the day of the event?
So I think families can expect a very well organized event. It will be fun. It'll be relaxing. As you mentioned, Bloomer Park is just a beautiful setting for fall colors. They'll be greeted when they arrive. They can expect from me personally to try and make them as comfortable as possible. trying to establish an early connection, especially if there's young children involved. I'll be providing posing guidance and, prompts to get true, authentic reactions from the family.
That's great to hear. And yeah, as you said, especially with families with younger children, things can sometimes get a little bit chaotic. It can be a little difficult to rein the children in and to get them to sit still. So I am curious, what's your approach to capturing genuine family moments in such a short time frame? Because you only have a little bit of time with each family.
Yeah, so I try to be, fun and silly, bubbles and music playing or anything I can do. And I do have a trick up my sleeve if worst comes to worst and I'm really not getting a good reaction out of the young children, I'll let them push the buttons on my camera to take their own pictures and then they get to see them. So that usually works pretty well to get there. If you do this, then smile, you can take a picture on my camera. And that usually perks them up pretty quickly.
Hey, sometimes bribery comes in handy, and that's a pretty good incentive for these kids, a pretty good reward. So after the photos are taken, can you describe maybe the kinds of edits or touches that you add to the final photo gallery that the families can see?
Yeah, so editing is part of my favorite part of the process. And I always try to, especially with the fall colors, my fall editing style tends to be very warm, soft, vibrant, trying to pull those colors through. And also I try to remove any distractions or blemishes, scratches, anything that, might make an individual nervous, especially with the little kids. They get bumps and bruises pretty easily. So no need to worry about any of that. These will be completely professionally edited images.
For those just joining us right now in the Splash Live, I'm talking with photographer Alicia Kowalski, who's going to be one of the photographers for the West Bloomfield Educational Foundation's Family Mini Photo Session that's going to be taking place on October 18th. Now, Alicia, you talked about this a little bit a second ago, but how does it feel knowing that your work is helping to fund educational programs here in West Bloomfield?
I absolutely love it. It's near and dear to my heart. I've had the opportunity to meet and establish a lot of relationships with the educators within the community. As I mentioned, my own children are part of the community. And I just think it's a wonderful event, and the organization and foundation in itself does just fantastic things for the community. So I am so happy to be a part of it.
And we love that you're a part of it as well. I am curious, once you're done with the families and once you've taken all the photos, what kind of feedback do you usually get from families after events like this?
So one of my favorite parts is after I send a family a gallery, and I patiently wait to see what their response is. And I have been very fortunate to have just wonderful feedback that comes back in. And it's very heartwarming to hear from families and what they think of their photos and their captured moments in time. And I've been very fortunate to have, to spread word of mouth quite a bit for my services, and then also have just a lot of positive feedback. So it's been I've been very blessed in that aspect.
Glad to hear it, and glad to hear that the families are taking such positive memories away from the experience. I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up, Alicia. Is there a message you'd like to share with families who might be considering signing up themselves this year?
Yeah, I think what families tend to do is things like family photos get overshadowed quite a bit with all of the grind that we have in our daily lives. And my message to families will be take the opportunity. And not only is it going to be a beautiful setup and very reasonable pricing, but I think we need to prioritize those moments more with our families and ourselves to get that moment captured, and something that will live on well beyond the moment itself. So I highly encourage families to take advantage of the opportunity, and they will also get their edited photos back in time for all their Christmas card planning.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Alicia. Last thing, where can people go to maybe gain a little more information about what you provide and about the event in general?
So they can reach out to me directly on my website, EliciaMariePhotography.com, and ask any additional questions. I am also on social media, Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Well, can't wait to see what's to come from this event and for all of the work that's going to be done to benefit the Educational Foundation. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you.
Glad to hear of everything that's coming up here in West Bloomfield. Once again, this family mini photo session is going to be taking place on Saturday, October 18th. Hope to see a lot of families out there enjoying the beautiful scenery of Bloomer Park. Soul Studio in West Bloomfield's latest art exhibit was unveiled to the public last night. Worlds Beyond, an exploration of imagination, is available to view from now until November 13th at Soul Studio in West Bloomfield, providing another incredible opportunity for the Greater West Bloomfield community to witness the vast creativity and artistry of the Soul Studio artists. I spoke with some of the visitors last night, as well as those who work for Soul Studio, to hear their thoughts on witnessing this magic.
I'm honestly really impressed. Like, some of the stuff in here is really good. Like, walking around this art gallery, sometimes, like, I forget I'm in, like, just, like, a local art gallery. I'm like, oh, wow, this is, like, a professional studio almost. Like, it's amazing, honestly. Like, I really appreciate that they give the opportunity to everybody here, and they get this awesome creative outlet and give back to the community at the end of the day,
It's incredible. I have been to every one. I have been since day one when it was just sort of a thought. So every art show is incredible. I think they get better every time.
And I understand that your daughter has some exhibits here tonight. What is it like to see her showcase her artwork to everybody?
What can I say? It's amazing. It's my motto is never say never, because she was totally nonverbal and totally in her own world for years. So a lot of therapy and a lot of friendship circle and Soul Studio. And that is why she is who she is today.
What have been some of the coolest things you've seen here tonight from the art?
Man, I would say just like the collaborative piece, which is like the main focus over there. It's awesome to see everyone work together kind of in their own way and then see it get pieced together. I really enjoy it.
How great is it to see all of their hard work pay off and to be featured in such a prominent way?
No, it's amazing, It's really amazing because I kind of feel part of it, And then seeing everyone get excited about their artwork hanging up, and then especially when it sells, it makes it all worth it.
And would you say with this theme, Worlds Beyond, that it's really showcasing the imagination of these artists?
Well, people hold multitudes, and these artists have such rich inner worlds that once they display them and share them with us, it's a door to extraordinary place. It's out of this world.
What are some of the biggest things people can take away from being a part of something like this?
That it's not just the artwork, it's the friendships, it's knowing that you belong somewhere, nobody's questioning you, everybody loves you. It's an amazing organization. What can I say? I don't know what I would do without it.
I think a big thing is don't judge a book by its cover, I think a lot of times, the artists that we work with, they haven't had an opportunity to present what they can do, but it's amazing to see what people are capable when given the opportunity.
It was a great night to be there at Soul Studio to check out all of the amazing artwork, to meet the artists, even catching up with some old friends, and to just seeing everyone having such a great time in Greater West Bloomfield. Once again, the Worlds Beyond art exhibit is going to be available from right now until November 13th at Soul Studio. This weekend on September 21st from 12 to 3, the West Bloomfield Fire Department will be holding their annual Fire Prevention Open House. This event offers an exciting opportunity to explore Fire Station Number 1, meet local firefighters, and learn critical fire safety tips. Patrick Donovan of the West Bloomfield Fire Department joined us on The Splash recently to give us a preview of this year's festivities.
And Patrick, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Tyler. Good morning. How you doing today?
Good. I'm doing well. Glad to have you on the show to talk about the Fire Department Open House a little bit earlier this year than it's been in past years, but that's for an exciting reason. Big renovations coming at Fire Station Number 1, the annual location for this event. Those are set to begin somewhere in October, which is why this event is moving into September. I want to start with that, though, from the firefighters' perspective, having some renovations coming to one of our oldest local fire stations. I presume that's a pretty exciting piece of news for your team.
Oh, yeah, it's like, super exciting. Whenever you get a chance to get some new equipment, new station, it kind of boosts morale. People get excited around here. It looks like just from the plans, well, how the station is going to be built, it's going to be pretty exciting. And I think all the firefighters here in West Bloomfield, as well as the community, when they come and visit Station 1, they're going to enjoy it a lot to see all the new station and all its new features that we have. And then also we'll be there once that station's built. Is this tower that's behind me? That's a new tower we got as well, and that'll be stationed at that station as well.
Yeah, a lot of great new features coming to the West Bloomfield Fire Station on Orchard Lake Road. You can learn more about that, wbtownship.org, and stay tuned to West Bloomfield Township Board meetings for more updates right here on Civic Center TV. Firefighter Donovan, the open house is a great opportunity for people to come into Fire Station number 1 and learn more about the fire department, see some of the work that your team does on the day-to-day. But beyond just being able to interface with the community on a dedicated day once a year, why is this an important outing for the fire department to, on the front of getting out that public information for safety purposes, especially as we change seasons and head toward the colder months of the year?
Well, this is our one time a year that we really try to get the whole community together at a station where it is all about fire safety. And we try to reach the public as many community members as we can. This also includes, the families that are around and all the children where they can come in and they get to see some of the new exciting stuff that we have. As well, like I said, with the fire safety this year is going to be talking about lithium-ion batteries and the safety in the home. That's this year's theme. Usually NFPA, they usually come out with a theme for us, and it's some sort of problem that's been going on in the United States, and they decided that lithium batteries was the choice this year. And as you know, lithium batteries are everywhere. I have 5 of them on me right now. I had 6 earlier when I had my radio on me, but I got these ear pods on that there's 3 batteries in that, the case, the 2 earbuds, your phone. Everything's got these lithium batteries in them. So it's important to get some safety tips out there, and that's what we're going to try to hit on this year. As well as, again, we always like to talk about smoke alarms and staying in, sleeping with your bedroom closed. There's a bunch of safety tips that we'll talk about. Hopefully we can get as many as of the community that we can at this event, because it's super exciting and we want to reach as many people as we can. So,
and it's not just telling people this information. You also have opportunities to show them some of this in action, from demonstrations of a kitchen fire. Of course, the smokehouse is there, which is a great opportunity mostly for the kids to see just how important those fire safety lessons they learn in school or they're taught by their parents at home are in action, just how quickly a room can fill with smoke and how dangerous that can be. How much does the seeing element of something like the open house help to really drive that information that you're providing to the community all throughout the year home to people that visit here in Greater West Bloomfield?
Well, in particular, one of our demonstrations that we're doing this year, we haven't done it in the past couple of years, but it's going to be a kitchen fire, a grease fire. We're going to put a little demonstration about that on, and it's going to show how we can get a grease fire to get going, and then we're going to talk about what to do. And actually seeing it happen means a lot more to someone than just telling them and then it goes, they forget about it. So when you're telling them and they get to actually see it in action, it means that much more. So for this, we'll do a kitchen fire. We'll teach them how to smother a fire out, turn the heat off. We're trying to get rid of the oxygen. We're trying to get rid of the heat. So there's a couple examples right there. As well as when we have a new inflatable fire safety house. We just got it. We've only set it up once, so it's going to be exciting to show the kids that. So they get to go through the house, and there'll be little demonstrations inside the house of what to do if there's a fire. Get down, stay low, get out of the house, go to a meeting spot. So when you're actually doing it, it means that much more to the community, or that much more to someone. That's how I learn too. I learn by seeing. I don't learn by just reading it or hearing it. I like to see what's going on when I'm learning. So,
And we're often very visible out there every year at the fire department open house. We talk to a lot of people that attend the event. Of course, the vendors that are there providing some of this safety information and these resources to families across the community. But what stands out to me year in and year out is while this is focused on fire safety and fire prevention from your side of the coin, a lot of what is available there in terms of these resources are connecting people with things that necessarily aren't directly connected to the fire department, like public health information and some different vendors that can come into your home to help prevent those fire safety hazards themselves. Why is that an important part of what happens at this fire department open house year in and year out?
Well, it's kind of as a fire department, it's almost like we are a catch-all for all safety. And some of the stuff still includes fire. Like we'll have the dryer cleaning there for dryers, trying to make sure that they keep the dryers clean all the way to the outside. But another important one is the flu vaccine. That's another one that we have. The Alanis Foundation comes in every year, and they offer free flu shots at the station. So it's a nice, easy, convenient way to get your flu shot each year too. But we're a safety department. We're not just a fire department. We're trying to make sure that we can keep people safe in every aspect. Not just fires alone. And as everybody knows, or most people know, we do run medic here too. So we're all paramedics as well. So not just fire, we're also trying to teach people some kind of medical information as well, medical safety as well.
When it comes to our public safety officials, mostly when we think about our police officers, the buzzword over the past several years has been community policing, having that interface with members of the community so they're familiar with their local police officers should they ever have an encounter with them. But I'd imagine, too, for firefighters, for paramedics especially, that sort of element in our community would also be extremely important if there ever is an emergency. So how much of that community firefighting element, so to speak, comes into this open house, and why it is so important from the firefighter and paramedic perspective to be able to have that interaction with members of our local area?
Well, overall, it is always nice to meet people. Like you'll see people on calls and everything, and it's nice to see people when you're not on a call. So engaging with everybody other than those calls, it is nice. Getting out to, even when we go out to, like when I do inspections and stuff, just meeting the community and trying to make sure everything's, properly, like our sprinkler systems are working. And I'm teaching people about that, the fire extinguishers, teaching people how to use their fire extinguishers, knowing what we have for resources as well. One thing that we have is that we install smoke alarms here, and a lot of people might not know that, but when we're out there engaging with the community, we can pass that message along as well. And going with that, if anybody is less fortunate, or we always try to target high hazard populations like the seniors and people with children and disabled. If you know anybody that doesn't have smoke alarms or working smoke alarms, we are more than happy to go to their house and install these smoke alarms for them. And if you don't engage with the community and teach them about that, they don't know about these programs that we offer. So that is one. I recommend that if someone that has or needs smoke alarms, call us 248-409-1505. We'd be more than happy to install smoke alarms for you. Like I said, it's getting out and engaging with the community. It teaches them like we have some of these other programs to offer. We also have CPR training that we offer as well. And there's a lot of other programs.
You'll be able to learn a little bit more also about the hands-only CPR and generally about CPR and first aid training at the open house as well. For more information on those training opportunities, we just had Blake Belsky, one of the captains and coordinators for the emergency services on our program. That can be found on civiccentertv.com. We're joined by firefighter and paramedic Patrick Donovan on the program today as we preview the West Bloomfield Fire Department open house happening September 21st at Fire Station number 1. Patrick, before we let you go, any other details we haven't covered yet today that would be important for the community to know before they come out on that Sunday to Fire Station number 1?
When you come out, just expect that we had a lot of activities going on. So a couple things I didn't mention, that we will have our brand new tower truck there. It'll be fully extended. Get up and get to see it. It's brand new. Before it gets a couple years old, you get to see this thing. Well, it is shining. So it's super nice to see that. We have extrication demos come out, so you can see us cutting up cars. Again, we're going to have that kitchen fire. We have the brand new fire safety house. It's inflatable. Get the kids out there, and they're going to be running through this house, and they're going to be amazed how big this house is, and it's outdoors, and it's an inflatable house. It's really cool to see. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Like I said, we got the hazmat truck's going to be there. Our tech rescue. Last year, our tech rescue had a huge tire, and through mechanical advantage and ropes, these small kids are able to pull this giant tire around, and they were like over there pulling this tire around like crazy because they thought it was so cool. So come out, please. Like I said, we are absolutely excited to have as many community members as we can. So, yeah, please come out and visit us at Station 1 on September 21st from noon to 3.
More information always available on their Facebook page as well at WB Fire Department. Patrick, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me, Tyler. You have a great day.
Appreciate Patrick Donovan for coming on and telling us all about the West Bloomfield Fire Department open house that's taking place this Sunday from noon to 3 o'clock. And Civic Center TV will be out there as well, capturing all of the magic and talking to so many people, hearing their thoughts on the open house and the big changes that are going to be coming soon to West Bloomfield Fire Station number 1, as it will be undergoing some construction throughout the next year. Just recently, the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society brought West Bloomfield residents on an incredible and very rare tour of Apple Island. It was a fun-filled day where residents were able to explore the island and learn the many bits of history of what transpired and who populated the island over 100 years ago. I was there as well to capture all the excitement and to hear what people thought of this rare opportunity.
It has been an absolute glorious, fantastic day out here, and most of our visitors are first-timers, so to see the look of awe and wonder in their eyes, to spin around and see nothing but beautiful nature with a gentle breeze and no mosquitoes. They're loving it, and they get to learn the natural beauty of the island and also to learn the historical background, too.
What would you say are some of your favorite parts of this whole place?
I think being surrounded by nature in a very peaceful. I've been here in freezing sleet rains. I've been here in snow. I've been here in sweltering days. Been here with mosquitoes. It's always an incredible experience. Being here today is just beyond perfect. I've been doing this for at least 40 years, and I love it.
I thought it was awesome. It was a beautiful day, first of all, and being able to hike through the woods and talk to the docents and have them answer our questions and learn about all the history of the island was very cool. Well, I think it's really important to understand the history in the area that you live in, and hopefully by learning the history, we can all be more conscious of preserving the area and taking care of the land that we all live on.
My ancestors, the Campbells, bought the island in 1856. They were Scottish immigrants. They came to Detroit in 1842, had a dry goods store in Detroit, and this was the equivalent of going up north in the 1850s. They bought the island in 1856 as a summer getaway. I think the Campbells in particular would be so gratified to know that it's a nature sanctuary today. We all can be out here enjoying it, and it's the same things that they were enjoying about it 150 years ago. So I think that is very remarkable.
With the chances to come to Apple Island being so scarce nowadays, how special are these trips in really showcasing these wonders to the people of Greater West Bloomfield?
It's crucial. You know, this tells the story of our history out here. It tells the history of the land. It tells the history going back from the glaciers. Mostly we like to showcase the native people that lived here. And if we don't keep telling our stories, the stories will be forgotten. So to be on such a beautiful wildlife, incredible island, it's so important that people learn it, and the elder people and their offspring and the little kids, that they continue the stories of Apple Island and the stories of native life.
These tours need to continue, and that they are for the community and by the community, and so we hope that these will be able to continue in perpetuity.
That's absolutely right. These tours need to continue in any way that they can. That was one of the coolest things I've gotten to do during my time at Civic Center TV, and I hope that as many people as possible throughout Greater West Bloomfield get to experience that as well in the future. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce is gearing up for its highly anticipated 2025 Chamber Cup golf outing set for September 30th at Twin Beach Country Club. This annual event brings together local business leaders, community members, and golf enthusiasts for a day of friendly competition, networking, and fun. The outing has become a tradition that celebrates both community spirit and business growth in West Bloomfield. Jim McGugan, the GM of the Twin Beach Country Club, recently joined us on the Splash Live to tell us all about it. Jim, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Very, very excited to hear about the Chamber Cup golf outing. Could you share, how would you say this event has become so popular in West Bloomfield?
Well, working together with Suzanne at the Chamber is always great. She's a true professional, and she suggested that we try to do something like this to bring some business community leaders and others together in a nice golf outing here this fall at Twin Beach. And of course, when we received that offer, we jumped on it, and we're looking forward to a great event.
Absolutely. Very, very excited to hear what's to come from this event. Could you explain a little more about what people can experience throughout this event?
Yeah, they're going to get a chance to have a lot of local community leaders and others come together here, and it's great exposure for Twin Beach, and the game of golf is still on a huge boom right now, so we're excited to be part of that and expose everyone here to Twin Beach. We've been here for 95 years. We're celebrating our 95th anniversary actually tomorrow, which is September 5th, so we have a huge party going on here, and really looking forward to some great weather and a nice event tomorrow.
95 years. That is incredible. Happy anniversary to the country club. That is such an incredible achievement. And making such important connections in Greater West Bloomfield, I mean, that says a lot. What makes this Chamber Cup golf outing unique compared to maybe some of the previous years, other than, of course, the change of location?
Well, since we've never hosted it here before at Twin Beach, it'll be a nice new piece of variety for all of the chamber members to see what we have to offer. We've got a 9/18 hole golf course with double tees and double greens. So we sit on about a 60-acre property, so it's our way to create as much variety. But there's not a whole lot of 9-hole clubs in the area that can also be played in 18 holes. So I'm excited to show all the players what we have to offer. And our course conditions are phenomenal right now. Our superintendent's been with us for 27 years, and I'm excited to show them what we have to offer.
And it's going to be great for the community to get to experience the golf course as well. You said something just a little bit ago, how golf has been on a bit of it, like popularity's been on a bit of an upspike recently from the emergence of some big golf stars. And of course, a little movie known as Happy Gilmore 2, I think, has also helped to bump that popularity up as well. Do you think that this rise of popularity with golf is going to play a factor in the popularity and the attendance for this year's event?
Oh, I think so for sure. I know a lot of people were excited about Happy Gilmore too, and I recently watched it. It was pretty funny. I was always glad to see a remake come back, and any little thing for whether it's Top Golf or all these pop-up golf simulators across the state or new golf courses popping up. It's great for the game of golf, and it helps ensure our longevity of the game.
I've also seen the movie as well. Highly recommend it. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Jim McGugan, the general manager of Twin Beach Country Club, who's talking about this year's 2025 Chamber Cup golf outing, which is going to be taking place on September 30th. And this is all in conjunction with the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. And let's talk about that for a minute. What role would you say that they play in organizing this outing, and how would you say your partnership has evolved with them over the years?
Well, I've been here with Twin Beach for 10 seasons now, and the moment I arrived, we looked at Chamber of Commerce's, and the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce made a lot of sense for us. The partnerships are great. Suzanne does a wonderful job making connections between various members and exposing them to what everyone has to offer. And I think that just leads to a better business community and stronger growth for all the industries that are members of the Chamber.
That's absolutely right. And events like this play such a big role in helping to preserve those very important business relationships. How would you say those relationships can be improved by events like the Chamber Cup?
I think bringing people together and getting to know each other and networking. And we use a lot of our chamber members for work that we do here at the club, whether it's in need of a locksmith or plumbers or anything like that. So it's great to have those resources, and we'd like to support the local community as well.
Of course, that's absolutely right. Now, can you tell us a little bit about maybe some special preparations or some efforts made by your team to help ensure a very successful event this year?
Absolutely. From setup table to our electric carts to golf course conditions, we'll make sure we nail all the detail items. We want to show our fellow chamber members that we have a great operation here, which we do. Our membership is just about sold out in every category. And in fact, we were just named in the top 20 best courses to join in terms of private clubs for under $25,000 by Country Club magazine. So I'm excited to show the chamber members some of those things that we have to offer here at Twin Beach.
That is amazing, and that's certainly going to help, I think, inspire a lot of people to check out this event and to maybe get started breaking out the golf clubs and to try out the sport for themselves. Now, as we said, this is your first time hosting this year's event. Looking ahead, what are your hopes for the future, and do you see yourselves hosting this event down the road?
Absolutely. I would love to make this an annual event and continue to work with the chamber to foster that relationship. And just Suzanne, I can't say enough about her at the chamber. She's been just phenomenal to work with, and her ability and time consumption that she has on her job and connecting various chamber members is pretty impressive. So shout out to her, and looking forward to a really great event on September 30th.
Of course, shout out to Suzanne Levine for everything she does for the community. She is everywhere and helps to bring a lot of these events to the table. Jim, I'm going to wrap things up with one more quick question. Where can people go to gain a little bit more information about this event to maybe help them prepare for what's to come on September 30th?
Yeah, the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce website is a great one. They can pop on our website as well, which is twinbeachcc.com, or check us out on Facebook or Instagram. Lots of information flying out there on social media right now.
That's where to go, and that's where you can gain all of the information for this year's Chamber Cup event. Jim, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Thanks for your time. Always great to be with you.
Once again, the 2025 Chamber Cup golf outing is set for September 30th at the Twin Beach Country Club. Hope to see a lot of great people out there, and a big thank you to Jim Magushian for taking the time to talk with us on The Splash Live. A change in the seasons is soon approaching. As the leaves have started to hit the ground, the cool smell of autumn is in the air, and of course, with any seasonal change, allergies can become a big issue, proving the importance of regular eye checkups for a variety of issues, one of those being something called dry eye syndrome. Dr. Jennifer Shaba, an optometrist with the Dry Eye Healing Institute, recently joined us on The Splash Live to tell us all about dry eye syndrome. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, I have certainly been to my fair share of optometrists in my day, and I'm very, very curious to hear about what dry eye is and how it can differ from dry eye syndrome.
That's a great question, because I do often encounter that, and it's important to recognize the differences to know how serious your condition is versus somebody else's that you're feeling. So honestly, dry eye is just when your eyes don't make enough tears, or your tears dry up too fast. Dry eye syndrome is more like it's a long-term condition where the dryness becomes more frequent and bothersome.
Okay, and what would you say are some of the most common causes or contributing factors to dry eye today?
Too much screen time, what we're doing right now. People being on their phones too much, on the computer, watching TV, kind of engaging more in social media. That takes away the time that we're blinking. So we're not blinking often because we're so focused. Or if you're reading for a long time. Aging, the more birthdays we have, we do tend to get more dryness because we are on certain medications, or just people that are on certain medications in general, being part of dry environments, being indoors a lot, even just contact lens use can bother some.
Interesting. So it sounds like a lot of continuous prolonged use is a lot of the factors that come into play. How can someone tell the difference between a possible normal eye fatigue and someone with a more serious case of dry eye syndrome?
Good question. Tired eyes, honestly, they should feel better after you rest. But when you have dry eye syndrome, the eyes feel dry, gritty, even burn. with rest, and it happens more often. That's how you can kind of tell. If you're well rested, your eyes should feel good.
Okay, and that's good, and that's obviously good for everybody to take into consideration. What are some of the long-term risks, would you say, of leaving dry eye untreated? Do you think it could lead to permanent damage?
Not initially, but a lot of dry eye is sometimes you can't feel what's going on until it's pretty bad. So you don't want to reach to that stage. And so if left untreated, you can get infections like styes can happen often, blurred vision, and honestly, like damage to the ocular surface over time.
Okay, and as you said that there are particular lifestyle factors like screen time, environment, medications that can cause some of these symptoms, what would you say is possibly some advice to maybe help lower some of those, to help get rid of some of those factors, would you say?
Limiting your screen time as much as you can, blinking less, wearing glasses instead of contact lenses if you're going to be on a computer for a long time. Smoking can affect it, so calming down on that area and trying to find other ways instead of smoking. Having a humidifier would be great because dry air, we're indoors a lot, heat's running, air conditioning's running. Medications like allergy pills, maybe, consulting a doctor, maybe starting other things, maybe like a nasal spray that can help. So they're not, your whole body and your eyes can feel dry. Being on any kind of like antidepressants, that can be affecting too. So doing some cold compresses can be helpful. Starting out with some just artificial tears, bring it by the computer if you're gonna be on it for a long time. Preservative-free is what I really recommend. Preservative-free over-the-counter options. If you're putting in drops once or twice a day, okay. But if you're putting in drops more than that, you should be, kind of understanding that there is something deeper here that should be looked at so that you can be comfortable on a computer and doing your work without thinking about, oh, my eyes are going to be affected if I walk into a place or working for a long time. So eye drops, preservative-free. Cold compresses can help. Blinking more often. So I often tell patients to do like blinking exercises. So doing a tight squeeze blink throughout the day, closing your eyes like you're going to go to sleep, squeezing down and opening, that really helps to kind of milk those oil glands to keep the eyes well nourished throughout the day.
All right, very, very important information for everybody to take into consideration. And for patients who suspect that they may have dry eye symptoms, what steps would you recommend they take next in terms of seeking medical advice?
Honestly, seeing an eye doctor, because a lot of times we have the microscope, so we have the capability to really look at everything in such great detail under high magnification that we can catch things early on. So when we're seeing signs of things, we're catching early, so we're treating early, so it makes treatment a lot easier to handle instead of coming in when your eyes are really flaring. So seeing an eye doctor, first step, instead of seeing just like a general doctor, because you want to be able to know under the microscope what's happening to address it and in a more detailed level. Because dry eye is a very broad term. Dry eye, it's multifactorial, meaning so many things are affecting dryness, so many different parts of the eye that need to be addressed and treated. And so that's why it's not a one size fits all. And that's why my center is created, because a lot of times patients are just given drops and they're just given doxycycline, for example, or oral medications to help. But I have a lot of like drug-free, drop-free options and things that are actually billable to insurance that will help the patient long-term, and patients will just feel comfortable without thinking about their eyes.
For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Dr. Jennifer Shaba, an optometrist with the Dry Eye Healing Institute, talking about the difference between dry eye and dry eye syndrome, as well as the importance of regular eye exam checkups. Now, Dr. Shaba, can you explain why regular eye exams are important, even for people who don't wear glasses or even contact lenses?
Great question. Even if you don't feel something wrong with your eyes, right, it's important to get an eye exam because a lot of hidden problems you can catch early. A lot of things you don't feel, like glaucoma, if you're kind of pre-diabetic. A lot of times we can catch these things early enough so that we can treat them. So before you start to notice symptoms, we see the signs and say, hey, you know what, let's take care of this before it becomes a problem. So glaucoma, dry eye, even signs of diabetes, it's huge for patients to get an eye exam.
Of course. And what are some common eye conditions that you say can go undetected and that people might not notice right away?
Glaucoma is a big one because that's like a thief in the night that steals your vision, or there's macular degeneration where it's kind of like tunnel vision. You lose your peripheral vision over time too. Cataracts can be something that we check for, because a lot of times you'll notice you need more light on things you're reading. You need more magnification. That's a problem. That means we have to address those things. Dry eye, a lot of these things, they don't have early symptoms. So you can have your peripheral vision being lost or central being lost, such as macular degeneration.
Of course. And how often would you say that adults and children should have their eyes examined? And does that frequency change with age or existing health conditions?
Definitely, I would say, according to the American Academy of Optometry and Ophthalmology, recommendations are in place for a reason. So I would say even as early as 3 years old, because that's when they start, kind of to read unrecognized letters. So it's important to get an eye exam, not just relying on the school, because we can see things such as eye muscles, making sure the eyes are working together, making sure they can work together and coordinate while you're reading, so the eyes kind of stay on track and then the reading becomes good. Detecting these things early in children is important, because I worry about ADD. Sometimes it's not really ADD. It's just that the child just needs an eye exam. Maybe they just need glasses. Maybe they need vision therapy to help them train on how to use their eyes when they're reading, so that they can be more focused without being distracted because their eyes are bothering them. So usually at 3 years old, by 3 years old, and then I would say every year after that, because bodies change, hormones change, the body's growing, the eyes are growing. So it's important to actually get all of these things checked every single year for children. I would say up until, yearly eye exams are important. And then every 2 years for adults. If you're over 60, I would say that's a good, every 2 years, until 60, past 60, it's like every year. Because a lot of conditions can happen. The more birthdays we have, again, diabetes, high blood pressure, strokes of the eye, we can catch things so early.
All right, great information for everybody to take into consideration. We really appreciate the conversation, Dr. Shaba. Last question before we wrap things up. Are there any resources where people can go to learn a little bit more information about dry eye syndrome and about things that maybe they need to keep into consideration before they start making those checkups?
I actually have a lot of things on my website. It's called healingdryeye.com. I definitely keep that updated with the latest and greatest about the research, what people can do, what to look out for. Good credible sources. Honestly, just seeing your eye doctor and not relying on Google, because it's important for the doctor to relate to you what's important to you versus you going online and kind of driving yourself a little crazy with not knowing versus worrying about something that you know about.
All right, great resources for everybody to remember. Dr. Shaba, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Important information for everybody to remember as the fall season continues to make its way, and allergies will continue to wreak havoc on everybody, but it's good to have these resources so everybody can be prepared. We're going to take a quick break and jump into some more stories right here on the Splash Live right after this. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Hello, my name is Danya Bazzi. I'm the superintendent of West Bloomfield School District. I want to congratulate Civic Center TV on hitting the amazing milestone of 1 million viewers. Your involvement in our community doesn't go unnoticed. We thank you for keeping our residents and community engaged in the latest and greatest news and information. I'm Danya Bazzi, and I'm proud to be 1 in a million.
Floodwaters can rise fast. Take precautions to stay safe. Follow the instructions of local officials and all emergency notifications. If authorities say evacuate, don't wait. Do not walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Just 1 foot of water can sweep away a vehicle. Never drive around barricades. You don't know what danger may be on the other side. For more tips on how to protect your family, visit ready.gov/floods.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4.
Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Jake Schaff. Next week, on Saturday, September 27th, the Detroit Crime Commission will be celebrating the 10th annual Love, Tennis, and Pickleball Mixer, showcasing a decade of community engagement and support. All proceeds benefit vital DCC initiatives, including the Crimes Against Women Initiative and the Witness Protection Program Safeguard. Event coordinator Stephanie Yates and co-chair Renee Roth recently joined me on the Splash Live to tell us what we can expect. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely love hearing about events like this to help bring the community together. Stephanie, I'm going to start with you. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the Love, Tennis, and Pickleball Mixer. How would you say this event has evolved over the past decade?
Thanks, Jake. The Tennis and Pickleball Mixer has evolved over the past 10 years by growing every year and changing locations. We started at on a grass tennis court called Wesson out in Pontiac, and now we are at Pine Lake Country Club by the water. Outside, it's beautiful, and our guests absolutely enjoy coming to Pine Lake for this event. We had about 50 people originally, and now we're close to 100 people that come out and play in our event annually.
Wow, I mean, you could definitely hear how much this event has grown in popularity over time. That is amazing to see. Renee, how would you say hosting this event at Pine Lake Country Club helps to add to the overall experience?
Thanks, Jake. I would say that our lakefront setting, we've got both clay courts and pickleball courts. And having the space necessary to bring in all our new guests has really helped us grow and engage more people. It's an easy setting to get to, and a lot of our patrons just love, watching the sunset afterwards as we have our mix and mingle and our silent auction. And it's just a great place to come out for a good cause.
That's absolutely right. And as I said before, there are great tournament formats with this event. There's tennis team play, and then there's the pickleball scramble. How would you say these formats encourage participation and fun?
So it encourages everybody at different levels to come in and play. You don't have to be a great tennis player or a great pickleball player. You could be a first timer. They can come out there and learn the rules, and it allows for the formats to create kind of a team mentality, so where you're working together as a team, and there's even little prizes involved. So it's a great way to encourage people to get out and have fun and bring community together.
That's absolutely right. And I mean, when you say prizes, that's definitely going to garner a lot of attention and a lot of popularity for events like this. And all of this fun and all of this excitement goes towards some incredible causes: Crimes Against Women Initiative and the Safeguard Witness Protection Program. Stephanie, how do the proceeds directly support programs like this?
So the Crime Commission has several initiatives that we focus on throughout the year. Because our committee is mostly women, actually I think it's all women and one man, we chose Crimes Against Women because it makes the most sense. Some of our focus has been on human trafficking, and it's a very big problem. So the women chose that one, and that's where the funds will go for this event, as well as our Witness Protection Program with the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. You'll remember maybe 10 years ago they started the Rape Kit Initiative, so that is why we chose that. It's also focuses on women and crime, and a lot of the initiatives is a kind of a male-driven focus. So this is more women, and our committee of women chose these two.
Well, it's amazing that all of this fun and all of this excitement is going to be going to some incredible causes along the way. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Stephanie Yates and Renee Roth, who are involved with the Detroit Crime Commission, talking about the Love Tennis and Pickleball Mixer that's going to be taking place on September 27th at the Pine Lake Country Club, the 10th anniversary of this beloved event. Now, Renee, I would imagine that sponsors play a very, very big role in helping to make events like this successful. What opportunities are available for those who maybe want to help support the cause?
Yes, Jake. Sponsorship opportunities are still available, and they make this cause just so much more special. Each of our sponsorship levels come with an opportunity for marketing and signages and participation in the event. They really help drive our message throughout the community by showing they support us, and they back our causes, and it allows our message to spread throughout the community, which is pretty much one of our ultimate goals from all of these events.
Well, it's amazing to hear that there are so many ways people can get involved to help support your amazing mission. That's always great to hear. Stephanie, how important would you say community engagement and visibility is for the Detroit Crime Commission's mission?
So the Crime Commission has been around for about 14 years. I've been with it for about 10 years. And I think that people are starting to know who we are and recognize who we are. So the more events we do throughout the year, the more visibility we get, and people can, hear DCC and know exactly who they're talking about. We want people to support us, and we want also community to understand, about causes that we're supporting, so they're aware of like human trafficking or whatever it is that we're backing at the time. So it's very important for our community to know that this is going on, and these events, showcase that.
They absolutely do. I want to thank both of you guys for joining us here on the Splash Live. I got one more question before we wrap things up, and this is to both of you. Looking ahead, this event has been going on for 10 years. We want to see it continue in the years to come. What's your vision for the future of this pickleball and tennis mixer as it continues to grow? Renee, we'll start with you.
So our ultimate goal is to get women out and have some fun, spread our word. And so we just want to grow and keep on expanding and have more and more women come out and join us, and ultimately spread our message throughout the community and the awareness of what we're doing.
Stephanie, what about you?
Well, I'd like to say it's men and women we're asking to come out. It's not just for women. This event is for both men and women this year. It always has been, actually, but it's mostly women focused. But this year we want the men to come too. At any level, you do not need a partner to come. If you want to sign up, you can go to our website at detroitcrimecommission.org and click on events, and then you can sign up that way. And just please come out and support us. All the money we raise is for our initiatives, and we would really appreciate your support.
That's right, supporting so many great causes from the Detroit Crime Commission. Renee, Stephanie, thank you both so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you, Jake.
It'll be such a fun event. Hope to see a lot of people out there on September 27th at this incredible event. As we mentioned earlier in the show, the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society recently had a wonderful trip planned to Apple Island, and before that, they even showed some secrets and some history at the Pine Lake Marina for West Bloomfield residents to check out. I was there for that event as well to hear what residents had to say about what they learned.
Oh, we had a terrific exchange of information. People that are interested in a little bit of history behind Pine Lake and the marina, as well as the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. Hopefully they learn about the Girls Friend Society, which was also on the lake. We also talked a little bit about the motor club that eventually turned into the Pine Lake Country Club. So we learned about that as well, and as well as the history of the marina itself. Recreation and boating, and thus the inception or the creation of the marina is a mainstay here on Pine Lake.
What stood out the most to you tonight out of everything you learned?
I was really interested to hear that there was an interurban railroad. I had no idea about the light rail system that used to be here, and kind of wish it was still here because it sounds really great to be able to hop on a trolley and just to go to Pontiac or Detroit. And just really interesting to learn about the progression of things and how we see those footprints around us still. Yeah, so it was a really interactive program. We got to be in a beautiful marina and see the lake and meet people and hear about their own personal stories and history of their families and experiences that they've had. And it's just really cool to walk, into somewhere that you've driven past and didn't really think about and know that it's history right here.
The whole township is very old, and it holds lots and lots of history. There's so many historical events and buildings and peoples and societies that have existed here in the township for all these years. And it's so terrific that the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society brings to light all of the rich history that we all share.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really an untapped resource that we have in our community that people don't realize. There are these amazing people, amazing volunteers, and amazing resources all around us, and really, gives you a view of the history that you're standing on and driving by, and just really contributes to a richer understanding of your world.
So much history right outside your window. That's going to do it for us today here on the Splash Live. Big thank you to all of our guests and for everybody on the Splash Live team for helping to make this show possible. I've been your host, Jake Schaff. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.